Okay, guys, in this video, we are going to start summarizing data that needs to be binned. Well, what does that mean? When you try to look at the data, and this is GPA of students, when you click on the data button and the data expands, you can see the GPA, which is definitely numerical or quantitative data. But it wouldn't make sense, like in the case of counts, like 0, 1, 2, 3, to actually count each observation, right? Because none of them repeat, maybe a couple of them repeat, but this is really not a good idea. So you're not going to get a big view of your data if you're just going to list each number and how many times it happened. So we need to combine the data into these intervals, okay? Or they're also called classes. And they cannot overlap. So notice how it goes from 1 to 1.49. The next one starts at 1.5 to 1.99 and so on. And so the reason why they do that is because you do not want a number counted twice, right? You don't want 1.5 to belong to either one, because then you will be double counting. But in order for you to figure out how many times each number happened, because it's hard. I mean, you can sort them and then just manually figure out how many of them were between 1 and 1.49 and so on. But it's going to be very time consuming. You do not want that. So you want the software such as Desmos to do it for you. But in order to do that, you need to know the definition of bin width. So that you will just see the table and they will already give it to you. So you just have to know what to look for. So when you look at the table, how do you decide what's the bin width? So it is incorrect, and people do this a lot. They will just subtract these two numbers. That's not right. So your bin width is not going to be 0.49. Okay, so this is incorrect. Let me see if I can get rid of it. Okay, so to find the bin width, what you do is you take the lower limits of each class, in other words, the numbers on the left, okay, and subtract them. So they have to be successive two numbers. And it really doesn't matter because here the class width or bin width is the same no matter what. So if you were to subtract 1.5, subtract 1, that will give you 0.5. So your bin width is 0.5. Okay, once you determine that, everything else becomes very easy. So let me show you what to do in Desmos to summarize this data now that we know the bin width. So we're going to open up Desmos calculator. We're going to get the data into Desmos. We're going to put it into a list called L. So we're going to say L equals. We do not need any brackets, nothing. We're just going to highlight the data, make sure everything is selected, and then Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V, depending on if you have a Mac, then that would be what you would press. All right, so now we have the data. So if you scroll to the beginning of the, where it started, look at how many numbers, 27 numbers. That's a lot. To count that correctly is hard. So what we need to do is use the command histogram, and then we're going to say L, right? Because we're trying to summarize L. But unlike the counts, like when we had 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would have been okay. But no more, because here you see how it says bin width equal 1. Well, we do not want it to be 1 because our bin width is 0.5. So you're going to have to press a comma followed by what's your bin width, which is 0.5. Okay, so we are almost there, I promise. We need to also press on left, because if we don't, then it's not gonna create the bounds the way we want them to. Okay, so you have to press the bin alignment, you have to change it to left. Now, you can see the counts on the picture, but it is hard to actually, maybe read the heights. So you would have to click on zoom fit if you want to read the heights easier. And also you can click on this hide expression list so that, now I can't see anything. Okay, how about now? Okay, so now we are ready to go ahead, put it in. So this looks like that's a 1. Next one is 2. Next one is 4. The next one is 6. And then looks like we got 6, 7, right? Two of them have 7. By the way, sometimes there's nothing. There are bars that are missing. In that case, you would just put 0 for the frequencies. Now, something you could figure out before you submit, just to make sure, because we got 27 observations. The sum of the frequencies should add up to 27, because if it's not, then that means we messed up. So I can see that it's 27, and that would be correct.